Hi guys, we're here today with Emma, who has come to share with us a little bit about her story. So, Emma, welcome. Thanks for joining us for a cup of tea.
Thank you very much.
Can you just let us know just a little bit about your story growing up in terms of like church and faith and all those sorts of things?
Yeah, of course. So I grew up in a Christian household, went to church almost every Sunday, and then about 12-ish, I was at youth one evening, and we were doing some worship, and I really felt the Holy Spirit kind of come on me, and we were singing the song, should I say, Good Good Father. And I just felt the Holy Spirit really come onto me, so like a massive sense of peace, especially as I was starting a new school at the time.
Okay, so when you talk about the Holy Spirit, so we know so God is, Father, Son and Holy Spirit, and so you really felt a sense of his peace in a really like troubled time. And is that the moment that you would say that you like crossed the line of faith, that you became a Christian?
Yeah, most definitely. Because of this peace, which I hadn't really felt properly, as people would say, like the Holy Spirit's peace. Because I really felt it, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually real. I never thought I'd feel this before. Here I am, okay, what does this mean? And from then on, I started my journey as a Christian.
Okay, so it's something that you kind of knew a bit about before, but then it kind of like became real for you.
Yeah, so I knew of it, but I never had experienced it prior.
Okay. So has there been any moments as you've sort of gone along since 12 to where you are now, where actually you've sort of felt Jesus like become more real, or felt Jesus in a new way, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'd say for me, I've never had anything like grand happen to me. As you hear these amazing testimonies of healing, or such and such. I've always felt very small things, but when I look back on them, I'm like, oh, that was Jesus. So for example, one day I was walking home from school and I was quite stressed. It was a very still, warm day, so just, kind of that moment where you're like, I don't really want to be outside. And I felt this massive gust of wind just brush my hair back, and I was like, oh, hello, that was new. Almost like a wake-up call of God being like, hello, I'm still here, like look towards me, I should still be in your eyesight, figuratively, which was very weird, but very lovely.
Okay.
Yeah, so just small things like that have happened to me throughout my life.
So it's not necessarily, so for those people watching, like it doesn't have to necessarily be like a huge groundbreaking moment, but actually you praying, you talking to God on your own, and actually almost for you there was a moment, right, where actually like, you felt that God sort of like almost like blow past you, right? Yes,
definitely.
And so in terms of when you're praying to God and talking to God, like how do you find that? Like,
how do I find that?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Thanks.
So whenever I'm talking or praying to God, I do it very literally. Like I'll literally talk out loud. I'll be talking to Jesus like, hey, how you doing? Just kind of want to chat.
So essentially how you would talk to anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So how you and I are talking.
Yeah.
That's how I speak to Jesus.
Okay.
And it's not like a conversation.
Has that always been the way? So you've always spoken to him like almost as you would speak to anyone?
Yeah, I'm a very chatty person as it is, so I don't see chatting to Jesus any different to chatting to like a best mate.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be chatting to him, just kind of being like, hey, can you help me please? And he'll be like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's never like a verbal reply, it's always the thing will kind of just happen, and I'm like, oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. So you find that he answers your prayers in, is it always the way that you've asked for, or is it sometimes
No.
No, definitely not. But so sometimes in different sort of ways.
Yeah. I can't think of any examples right now, but sometimes when I'm just praying for something, usually it's kind of like small petty things. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, I really want a chocolate bar. God, can you get me a chocolate bar? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And other times when, like a grade in a test, I'll be really praying for like this really good grade. And sometimes it won't happen, but later down the line, it would be because I didn't need to follow that certain path.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, I was thinking about taking maths at A-level one time. So glad I didn't. And I was thinking GCSE, okay, if I get a 7 or more, I might consider it. I didn't get a 7, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Maths obviously isn't for me.
So sometimes the answers weren't what you expected.
No.
So would you say, just an aside, would you say that you needed to be a Christian to pray on?
No, I'd say praying's for anyone. Jesus is for anyone and he will listen to you, whether you know who he is or not.
Okay. So have there ever been any, as you've sort of like gone through your teenage years, have there ever been any moments where you like had doubts or had moments where you're thinking, I'm not really sure about this whole thing?
Yes, most definitely I've had some doubts. Especially I had a lot of friends who wanted advice from me throughout my secondary school experience, which is challenging for everyone. But yeah, a lot of friends come up to me and be like, hey Emma, do you know what I can do about this? I'm feeling like this. How can you help me in that? And the only times I could ever really give advice was when I was leaning on Jesus. And I know now the reason people came to me was because I was shining the light that Jesus kind of puts on us as Christians. Yeah, and the only times I could give good answers is when I was leaning in Jesus' strength, and I struggled to do that sometimes. So when they ask me questions, I'd be like, I don't actually know, and I don't know why God's not telling me what to tell you because I don't know the answer. But other times it would be like, yeah, say this, it's important you say this now. I'd be like, okay.
Right.
But yeah, other than that.
So sometimes you'd have doubts, sometimes you'd be like, God, where are you in this? And then other times it'd be like, actually, he'd be there right in that moment.
Yeah.
I think it's just really helpful for us to hear that actually, since becoming a Christian, like not everything is just plain sailing, not everything is just easy, and all your prayers get answered, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you for your time,
That's all right.
and we will see you soon.